Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Botox Games, and today we are talking about Pokemon Legends ZA. Nintendo of America invited me out to play some demos at PAX West. Pokemon Legends ZA was one of them, and I have some thoughts on this demo. As a huge Pokemon fan, my favorite Pokemon game is Black and White. My favorite Switch-era Pokemon game is Legends Arceus, so needless to say, I was excited for Legends ZA when it was announced. I was like, okay, we're getting another Legends game. I love this, brave new vision for what Pokemon can be. It's not turn-based. Seeing Game Freak evolve the franchise with these Legends games is so awesome, and Legends ZA, when it was announced, I was like, okay, this is going to be amazing because, well, I also love X and Y. X and Y are some of my favorite Pokemon games. I put hundreds of hours in that specific generation. I love Kalos. I love Lumio City. I love all the characters there with AZ and all that. So when it was confirmed they were doing a Kalos Legends game, I was extremely excited. And then they started showing the game, and the more I've seen of it, the more I'm like, it looks really cool, but also it's all in Lumiose, and I'm not sure exactly how that's going to feel. I love the wild areas of Legends Arceus. I love the exploration aspect of Pokemon. Legends ZA, even from this demo, I'm not quite sure how much of that is truly going to be there, that freedom that you really want to go and explore and catch Pokemon. But what I got to play at PAX West was two separate demos, one of which was just showing off the ZA Battle Royale, just doing some battling there, and then another was a fight against a Mega Absol, where I had a Mega Lucario. So we'll start with the ZA Battle Royale. This was revealed, I want to say, a couple months ago. It's these nighttime battles that you do where you're in these wild zones, I think they're called, or just these battle zones, whatever. You enter like an area of lights, and there are basically just trainers everywhere that you can battle. And the combat in this game is very unique. It's a new thing for the Pokemon franchise. It's all action-based. It's all real-time action. You still have your 4 moves. You still have cooldowns and stuff. But in this game, you walk up to a trainer. You have them see you, or maybe you can surprise them. You can press ZL to lock onto their Pokemon. You can run around while you're doing it, and you're pressing the 4 face buttons, A, B, X, Y, to command your Pokemon to do attacks, and they just have a cooldown in this game, as opposed to having a set number of moves you can use like in the traditional mainline games. Admittedly, it is hard to get a full gauge for how this will feel in the full game because they dropped me into a demo area where I had a Weedle and like a Mareep and a couple of other low-level Pokemon, so it's all, I'm using Scratch, I'm using Growl and Quick Attack and very basic moves, and the cooldowns are pretty slow, but assuming the vision's there, and assuming it evolves to the point where it's like even more and more exciting of like, okay, I'm waiting for my Pokemon's moves to cool down, maybe I'm swapping between them while battling, I really like the real-time combat. It's a little slow in this demo, but I think that might just be because, well, it's a low-level Pokemon. Most of my fights were against the Weedle, so not necessarily the most exciting thing to show in a demo, but once you get a little bit higher, I feel like this is going to be something really cool because I like turn-based Pokemon, I do, and even the quick and speed style stuff that was in Legends Arceus, that was fun as well, but I'm happy Game Freak is doing something different. I want to see Game Freak, experimenting and just trying new things, and having it be just like you're walking around commanding your Pokemon and you're seeing it all happen in real time. I mean, that's kind of like a dream game, right? I remember being younger and thinking like, okay, I want a real-time action Pokemon game, and even when I saw Pokken Tournament for the first time, I was like, oh, we're getting that. Not quite. That was just, you're a Pokemon. Now you're the trainer commanding the Pokemon. You still have a lot of that core Pokemon DNA there where you have the 4 moves, you have your stats and everything, but something I do really appreciate about this change in combat is how it promotes you using moves maybe you wouldn't use otherwise. So all your moves are on a cooldown, and usually in Pokemon games, at least turn-based games, I will just go for damage, at least when I'm doing the story stuff, right? The main campaign of a Pokemon game never really that challenging or anything, so I normally don't have to use attacks like Growl or like Defense Curl or, stuff like that. In this game, because you're just waiting for them on a cooldown, you see the little bar fill up on the right side of the screen. In this game, you're much more encouraged to do that because, well, why not? You're waiting for your actual damaging move to recharge. Why not go ahead and hit them with a Growl or, a Thunder Wave, whatever, to actually kind of set up a little bit, get their defense up, get your attack up, that kind of thing. It's interesting. I don't ever use moves like that, and in this game, the way the combat works, it does promote usage of those more support abilities, which I actually do really, really like. The overall gameplay and just how the game feels, very smooth, running at 4K 60. That I was talking to the Nintendo rep, like, okay, this is almost a dream come true. I still don't know if I love the art style for this game. It looks like they kind of just took the Scarlet and Violet art style, prettied it up a little bit. The character design's good and everything, but the actual like art style, the way the Lumio City buildings, all like the textures and everything, it all kind of blends together. So I'm not sure if I love the art style, but having a 4K 60 Pokemon game changer. I mean, this is finally do we have a smooth 3D console Pokemon game. That is really nice. And just the way the game feels to play. I mean, just running around, locking on to the enemies and tossing out your Pokemon. That's something that's, I was talking to Russ Vandy after the events, and we were talking about how you can't throw the Pokeball physically anymore, I'm pretty sure. Not sure if I like that, because that was something so cool about Legends Arceus. It was like, okay, you can actually press ZR to throw your Pokemon out. You physically throw the ball. You get to see them come out. And I didn't get to catch any Pokemon in this demo, but I wonder if it'll be the same thing there in this game, where maybe you can't actually physically throw the ball. But in Legends EA, you just press the D-pad and switch them out. And that's a little disappointing. You also can't roll around when you're not in a boss battle. So if you're just walking around Lumiose, or if you're doing some of the regular battles, at least in the ZA Battle Royale, you can't do a dodge roll because the Pokemon aren't targeting you. I get it. Objectively, I don't need to be rolling around, but also I like to roll around. I really liked rolling around in Legends Arceus, so I kind of wish I could still do that outside of the boss battles. But yeah, overall, I do like this concept of the nighttime battle royale, battling all these trainers, ranking up. It's all very quick and snappy, where you fight a trainer and then you get a little victory screen, you get your money and medals or whatever, and then you just kind of keep going, and it's all very fast. There's not like, load times in between each fight. That would be horrible. It's all very seamless, and I'm excited to play this. I'm excited to get through and rank up to, I guess it's going from Z to A, correct? So I'm excited to rank all the way up to the A rank. The next part of the demo I played was the boss battle against a Mega Absol. So interesting things here, it was like a separate actual demo. They had to like switch the HDMI or whatever, like the input. The first thing you do is follow the doggy Zygarde. Is that what, 10% Zygarde? And the other parts of the demo you can run, like you can hold down one of the face buttons and actually do a little, speed up while you're walking. For some reason, when you're trailing this Zygarde, you cannot do that. I'm not sure what's going on there or why that is the case, but it is. So that was kind of annoying. I guess it's like a scripted event or whatever, so they don't want you to run and like pass him or something. But yeah, you can't run there. That was a little weird. And then the boss fight itself. So this is going to be very similar to the boss fights in Legends Arceus, where you have that big alpha mega rogue Pokemon. I think they're calling them rogue Pokemon in this game, and you're just in a big empty void, basically fighting them in this big circular arena. And in this is where, the enemy Pokemon will actually target you as well. They're not just targeting your Lucario, they're actually trying to get you. So Mega Absol was like you doing various moves trying to hit me, and in this you can dodge roll and actually have a reason to dodge roll, so you're avoiding that. And then as you battle, you'll drop these little Mega Shards or whatever, and you can collect those and then evolve your Pokemon to be a Mega and do even more damage. It's interesting, though, because in, X and Y and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, you Mega Evolve, and then that's kind of it. You just have your Mega Pokemon for the duration of the battle. They've tweaked this with, like, Gigantamax and everything in future, games and gimmicks, where it only lasts a couple of turns. In this game, you get your Mega Lucario, and it lasts just a little bit. But what's cool is if the battle's not over by the time you're, not Mega Evolved anymore, you can collect more of these gems and Mega Evolve once more. So you can Mega Evolve several times in one battle. We only had Lucario for this section. I wonder if I can, like, switch to other Pokemon. If I had, like, a full team, can I switch to other Pokemon during this? Am I locked into just one? I'm not sure quite how that works, but this was fine. Kind of a damage sponge. I feel like it took a while to take down this Mega Absol, and it wasn't particularly challenging, but, I presume this is the first game boss, so not a huge deal, but I was just happy to have my dodge rolling back, and this is what felt the most like Legends Arceus from the bit I played of this game. With that said, Legends EA is shaping up to be a very exciting time. I know they just revealed that multiplayer mode back at Pokemon Worlds, and while most of the trailers from the past couple of months haven't really moved the needle for my hype personally, playing this demo and then also getting the recent Mega Evolution announcements of Hawlucha and Victory Bell, and of course, we had Dragonite a while back. We're finally, like, in the marketing cycle for this game to the point where I'm actually getting excited day to day. Like, okay, Pokemon Legends EA, this is coming out in just a couple of weeks here, like 6 weeks or so in middle of October. October. I'm excited for this game. I cannot wait, and this demo did get me more excited for the full experience. It's a very limited demo, it's very early stuff, so I'm not going to sit here and say it's the most exciting thing fighting Weedles in the beginning of the game. I will say, I don't know if I have footage of it because my footage didn't look too good. I had to use my friend Dampar's footage, but there was this section, the employee there was like, hey, you can try to fight this Pidgeotto, but it's level 18, and all of my Pokemon were like level 7 or 8, so I tried to think like, okay, how can I beat this Pidgeotto? I had a Mareep, so I had something there, and I looked at my inventory, I had a bunch of XP candies, and I tried to take down this Pidgeotto, and it was not happening. He bodied me, he obliterated me, so there will be some challenge there early game. You can take on some higher level Pokemon, and in this case, I mean, I guess they kind of wanted me to. The developer was like, hey, you can do this if you really try. I didn't have enough health potions or revives or whatever to actually make it happen. If you were at PAX West or if you've played this demo somewhere else, let me know, were you able to take down the Pidgeotto? I personally was not, and none of my friends were either, so there will be some, optional challenges there if you want to really test your might against some higher level Pokemon early game, but overall, I really enjoyed this demo. I would actually say this is my demo of the show, just because it's doing so much new stuff with the combat system. Kirby Air Riders, I talked about that in a video yesterday or a little bit earlier, and I mean, that game's really fun. I enjoyed what I played of Kirby Air Riders, but it's just more Kirby Air Ride. Pokemon Legends ZA is taking one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time and really trying to turn it on its head in terms of how you're actually playing and how the combat works, which I think is really cool. We will see if it actually hits when the full game releases and we put, hundreds of hours in it. Will this have longevity? Will this be the new battle system moving forward? That remains to be seen, but from this very brief, 15-20 minute demo that I played, I'm into it. I'm really into it. I just need to see how the exploration and like catching Pokemon actually works in the full game. That's my biggest reservation now of like, can I throw a Pokeball? Can I please just throw a Pokeball at a wild Pokemon? We'll see what happens. I think you can. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think in the trailers they show that you can when you're in the wild zones in the city. So if that's the case, that's a win. That's a huge win. And then we have all these other modes like the online, and of course you have the Battle Royale as well. So I'm into it. I'm really into Legends EA so far. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of this game from what you've seen in the trailers, and of course all of the demo footage. I would love to get a conversation going down below. You can follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames. Check out my friend Dampar's channel for letting me use his footage from PAX West. And once again, thank you to Nintendo of America for inviting me to check out some Nintendo demos this year. Until next time, folks, peace.